We've got to raise the bar, and we've got to continue to raise the bar. I don't think any of those young men, when they signed to come to Tennessee, they signed to say they wanted to come and be a part of a 7-6 program. All right, they said they wanted to come and compete for championships, SEC championships, national championships. I know that's what I want. I know that's what Tennessee wants. I know that's what the expectation is. So we've got to continue to reassess everything that we're doing and make sure that we're continuing to move the needle in the right direction.
99% of the people in this world want to be great. Would you agree with that? Yeah, they're called wannabes. 1% work to be great. Drop the mic on that.
Doesn't have to be perfect, ain't gonna be perfect. We go compete for 60 freaking minutes. All right, enjoy the opportunity, enjoy the environment, and then go play our butts off, play for one another, and have a hell of a lot of fun. Everybody got me?
Yes,
all right.
The team makes two saves win. Play forward, make breaks, one comes always score. If it hurts, the game breaks, no get you know it up, put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, sides, through the game, tackle, this win it in. First sheet again, here for the first man. Carry a lot of people there for 6 minutes.
It's here it's Tennessee, so we're gonna get the best guys here. That's just every year. Every time we're out there, it's competition. Nobody has a spot, nobody's comfortable. We're all working.
Do you remember when we fell in love? I remember, don't worry. Do you remember? I remember how it all began. How could I ever forget? It's the first time. Do you remember? I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air now. I can feel it in hands. I can feel it in each other. I can feel it coming in the air now.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
And I'm Coach Jay.
Coach, I saw you dancing in the background. You dig the song.
Getting down, man.
Man, some people hate it. Some people hate the song. They get mad. They're like, why are we playing this music? But you were looking at your phone. Did you see the new intro that just rolled out? Did you see the new clips we got in there?
It's looking good, man. It's looking good. It's spring has sprung. We're ready to go. Looking new, looking fresh, looking clean, ready to go.
The name of the game is breaking down the film. We're going to compare Shamurad Umarov to Stanton Ramil. We're going to see who got the better offensive tackle. But look, like you said, spring has sprung. Spring football is here, dropping videos left and right every single day. Tennessee is a couple of practices in now. I don't know how much of the reports and the news and all the stuff that you read, but anything you're seeing a couple of days into practice that you're excited about, I'm fired up, man. I love spring practice.
I mean, everyone, of course, has read about Arian, and you mentioned what he's doing, and obviously, Coach Jay over here has been reading that and watching that with a little smirk on his face, liking what he's seeing. But we got a long way to go, even with Arian, right? Young kid coming in, lots to be excited about. But even the vets, and I think I've searched out every little piece of film that you can search out of spring practice already, but just overall, the way they're practicing from day one extremely fast is one of the things that's jumping off the page to me. And when you've been part of a team that's playing at a high level, or a championship team and a really strong program, and I've been on coaching staffs with both, with bad programs and with good programs. And when you get a really, really strong one thing you notice is from one season to the next season, you pick up quick, man. You're just fast and everything's lightning quick and you're moving. You would think it was practice 20 rather than practice 1. And that's the first thing that's jumped off the page to me watching these spring practices.
Yeah, I love that all these young guys are out there, right? These young guys are out there, and not just out there, but making play. Arian Carter fired me up because it was practice number 2. And anytime I get a chance to say, hey, go back and watch the film breakdown and hear what Coach Jay said about Arian Carter. And it's just not that it's validation, but it's like, it's just, the buzz around Arian Carter. And then to hear that he's making plays, and it's not like Joe Milton made a bad play. And I'm excited. Next week, I'm going to try to get Eric Kane come on, do a morning show. We got to wait and see what the practice schedule looks like. But in reading his practice report, it sounds like Arian Carter went and made a play. Not that Joe Milton made a mistake. Arian Carter made a play, and that's what you like to hear in spring camp. Good on good. If there's a turnover, we want a defender to go make a play. Hey, let's run down the chat. Let's see who's hanging out. Make sure you guys do come in, smash the thumbs up, share this thing out, let somebody know we're live. We would appreciate it. We got Sam Hyatt in the house, says let's go Big Orange, dropping those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. I love it. Justin Sanday is here. Can't wait till football time in Tennessee. Hey, brother, it is football time in Tennessee. Maybe it's just lunatics like us, Coach Jay. I love spring practice. I love, hey, he looks the part. Hey, Caleb Herron put on the weight. Hey, this happened, that happened. I just love it, man. It's football in March. I enjoy it. Classless Goat is in the house, says, what's up, Boogie? And whoever else will be on tonight. Well, anytime we're breaking down the film, it's going to be one-on-one with Coach Jay. Matt Dumit is in the house. What's up, Matt? Joey Carroll is here. Roger is in the house. Crystal is here. What's up, Crystal? Good to see you in the chat. Oh, we got Kelly Goodwin here, says Supballs family. Wayne's in the house. Y'all late. Yeah, we were having some issues. It's all good. It's all good. We're here. Mrs. Coach Jay is in the house. What's up? Nugs is here. What's up, Nugs? Mrs. Coach Jay, like right behind the wall there, behind you, working a little bit.
Yeah, no, I am. I did not have it together. I came in, my camera wasn't working. I'm all out of sorts. My office is being used. Miss J stole my other little film room dungeon, and man, I was all messed up there. So that's on me. Hey, what's up, Faith? I'm in Los Angeles too, so I hope you're staying dry, whatever part of Los Angeles you are in.
Yeah, I'm sick of rain, man, and I say it all the time, but it's every time I took the dogs out today, and they just looked at me like, yeah, we're not pissing. Like, we're not going to use the bathroom, you idiot. Let's go back inside. I'm so sick of the rain. Let me give you guys a couple of quick plugs real quick coming up. Got a busy month. I've said it time and time again. Spring practice is here. So much to break down and talk about. We're going to get into Shamurad Umarov versus Stanton Ramil here in just a moment. But we've also got coming up Friday night. This is a big one. Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Late night Talkin VAWLS, going one-on-one with Austin Price. You guys have demanded it. You guys have been saying, Boogie, why don't you reach out? Why don't you yell at Austin, see if he'll come on? So I DM'd him on Twitter. He's like, man, anytime. I would love to come on. So he's going to come on Friday night, 9 p.m. I already said it next week. Eric Kane's going to come on and do a morning show. We'll have to iron that out. Every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to play some NCAA football and talk all things ball athletics. I'm glad to have tomorrow night off. That's when me and Austin were originally going to stream, and I was like, dude, basketball game at 9 o'clock. Tennessee looking at an Elite Eight. I'm excited about that. I know you guys are too. Wayne Starnes for 5 says, almost forgot. Entry fee into the Boom Boom Room. There's like 50 people watching, and you guys forgot to drop the entry fee. So thank you, Wayne. Appreciate the super chat. Guys, get them in. Get those $5 super chats in. We appreciate the Boom Boom Room entry fee. So thank you for that, Wayne. Let's jump into it. It is a film breakdown. You guys keep lofting us softballs, right? We did. We started with Nico and Arch. That was our idea. And then somebody said, why don't you guys do Carnell Tate versus Nathan Laycock? That's a softball. Okay, easy. And when we were doing that live stream, we said, who do you guys want next? And somebody said Shamurad Umarov versus Stanton Ramil. I said, that's a home run. Let's do the dang thing. So whoever you guys want next, let us know. Another film breakdown. I always like these head-to-head matchups. Makes it a lot of fun for the live streams. But look, Coach Jay, we go back. We go back to recruiting a year ago. Tennessee heavily targeting 4 offensive tackles: Francis Mauigoa, Stanton Ramil, Lucas Simmons, and Shamurad Umarov. Really, for me, I wanted to land 2 of those guys. I thought Tennessee needed to land 2 of those guys. The one they land is Shamurad Umarov, Stanton Ramil off to Michigan State, Lucas Simmons, Florida State, and then Francis Mauigoa to Miami. What do you think about Tennessee recruiting offensive linemen? You think that's a miss? You think they needed to land 2 of those 4?
No, I'm happy what we did with our offensive line recruits. I mean, sure, when it comes down to the big uglies, you want as many of them as humanly possible, right? There's no such thing as too many offensive or defensive linemen when you're coaching in the Southeastern Conference. So certainly we'll take more of them, but I think it's about optimization with offensive linemen. And hey, listen, Josh Heupel's offense uses very specific offensive linemen and offensive lineman sets. And, that's something that he's not had in place already when he's gotten here. He's been blessed to have someone like Darnell Wright, who is extremely good with his feet. He's extremely good at pulling from the tackle position. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but this offense likes to pull our tackles a lot. And that's something a lot of offensive tackles aren't really adapted to. And I think that's something that definitely has been in Hype's mind. And even when you look at the real big giant kid, the junior college kid we picked up, he's got really good feet in pass pro, and sure, he's got to work on his speed a little and just his overall athleticism. But when you watch him in pass pro, he's just got really good choppy feet. So I think it's about the right offensive lineman for your system, and not just any kid who's 6'6" and 330 pounds.
So let's jump into the 2 we're going to focus on today. Stanton Ramil, we're going to start with him, committed to Michigan State, signed in December for early signing day. You can see there the profile on the screen, 6'7", 310 pounds, out of Alabama. I'm going to look at the 247 Sports composite. They have him ranked 17th at the offensive tackle position. I just think, 4-star offensive tackle. I really wanted Stanton Ramil to come to Tennessee. I'm excited to break down the film and see what you have to say about him. We're going to look at the scouting report here. It talks about size, whatever. We don't need to worry about that. What's confirmed and not confirmed really doesn't matter. I think it's kind of funny to see Young when he goes to the NFL Combine versus what he measured at Alabama. So size, weight, whatever. But the scouting report here, Cooper Patagna, whatever. I struggle with English. From 247 Sports, possesses above average athleticism at the left tackle position, displays above average knee bend, hip flexibility, functional athlete that maintains adequate foot and body quickness in his pass set, demonstrates above average play strength as both a run and pass blocker, shows the ability to anchor and redirect, appears to have the ability to move defenders off the line of scrimmage, wins with length and leverage. That's what you always want in a tackle. You want that length. Plays with a good feel and understanding of the tackle position. Above average athlete with ideal length. Could see transitioning to right tackle at the next level, as it would be more, am I supposed to read this word? And advantageous. Good Lord have mercy. To his skill set, projects as an above average multi-year starter at a Power 5 program with the ability to outperform his projection. So that's the scouting report. That's the profile for Stanton Ramil. We're going to pull up the film. We're going to start breaking it down. I want to talk a little bit about, I'm redirecting because my mind is a whirlwind. The offensive tackle position going into 2023. I get excited about the little things. When I saw that Gerald Mincey was possibly looking to move to right tackle, that excites me, because you've got the big offensive tackle Campbell coming in from Miami. He plays left tackle. You got J.J. Crawford and Mincey both played left tackle last year. So the big question was, who plays right tackle and replaces Darnell Wright? And now you've got Gerald Mincey. They're shuffling guys around. That excites me. If Gerald Mincey can lock down right tackle, I think this offensive line is going to be good. Left guard is still a question, but I think between John Campbell and J.J. Crawford, the left tackle is going to be fine. And if Mincey can grasp that right tackle position, I think we're looking at a good offensive line going into 2023.
Yeah, we definitely have options. I mean, whether it's the Texas kid, the Miami kid, I think Sproggins is kind of a mainstay there, and definitely a mauler inside, which I like. And I think the Texas kid winds up at the other guard spot,
Mhm.
but we'll see. And he's got a little bit of a nasty disposition to him as well. So I think between those two kids and Mays at the center, we should be able to get the tackle position sorted out. We've got some good looking kids there, and I think Hype gets it done at those positions, no doubt.
All right, let's jump into the film breakdown. Taking a look at Stanton Ramil first. Just read off his profile. Let's see here. Kicking things off, minute 7. Am I in the right spot? I am
Yep,
in the right
you're in the
spot.
right
Ready to
spot.
go.
Yeah,
What do you see
yeah.
here,
No,
Coach Jay?
granted, I sometimes I'll go over my timestamps on my phone, and for some reason the seconds will just either be a tick behind or a tick in front. So you do a good job of grabbing that here. But we got Twins to our left side of the screen. We're looking at here, wing formation. The slot receivers come into motion, and we have Stanton at the left tackle spot. And what we're going to have here is an inside zone run. The guard's going to try to assist him and do a little combo block where you help assist the tackle and then block down to the second level. And if you let it run a little, you'll see that he doesn't really need it. And Boogie, when you let it run right now, can you try to get it right at the 110 mark if you can? Let's take a peek and see if we can get that. So the combo 110. Yeah, and a little in front of it, but he just, one thing I have for Stanton is, he seems to be really concerned with that pancake block because he's got a mean mentality. And as a result of it, he has a lot of twerking, a lot of wrestling moves where you know, in the SEC, when you're going up against big, strong, fast defensive linemen, he's got to watch some of this holding because his film is ripe with it. And hey, I get that you can call holding on every single play in every single game, but you got to keep those elbows tucked inside. You got to keep those hands on the inside breastplate of the shoulder pad. You get it on the outside back of a jersey, like we see Stanton doing in a couple plays. We're going to see. You're going to get called for that, but right off the bat, that height jumps out at you. He's got to learn to play lower, but that's every offensive lineman, right? And let's watch him drive this because I want to prove a little bit of a point with Stanton. Is he's got this nasty disposition that I just love. Go ahead and let it run, Boogie, and let it run to the summation of this play.
Let me sidetrack you for real quick, and we'll come back to that.
Please.
Adrian Wells for 2. Appreciate the super chat. The tip in the old tip jar, the entry fee. You got to pay the man to come into the boom boom room. So we appreciate that, Adrian. Thank you for the super chat. Kenny Davis says, "I'm a dummy. You've said Twins multiple times, Coach Jay. Can you please explain?"
Absolutely. Twins would just be 2 wide receivers to either side of the field. If you had them on both sides, we'd be looking at deuces. Okay. Now, I mean, you're going to get a little lingo anywhere, but you talk to any offensive coordinator, any defensive coordinator. These are pretty simplistic terms, and a lot of coordinators will understand. Let's put it that way. But yeah, so aces would just be single. Twins would be 2 to one side. Deuces or doubles would be 2 to each side. And then, of course, we have trips to one side, or we could have empty with twins on one side and trips on the other, which I believe we will see in Sham's film a little later on.
Love the question, Kenny.
Yeah, great question.
That's the point of these film breakdowns, to educate us, the casual fan. That's why it's great to have Coach Jay on here. Some people get lingo, some people don't. Some people may say, hey, that's a stupid question. There are no stupid questions. So if you got a question, ask it. I'm educated every single time I sit down with Coach Jay. That's why this series is one of my favorite things we do here on the channel. All right, we'll let this thing run out, and then we'll go back and you can unpack it here, Coach Jay. Here we go.
Yeah, it just keeps driving him, and just watch the. I mean, it wasn't enough to kick him out 7 yards on the kick out block. He drove him down into the ground, and then for good measure, made sure he knew the flavor of the grass there on the 15-yard line. But then once again, just that holding on that outside shoulder. Uh, in college, the refs are going to call that every time, and your pad level's that high, and you're holding behind the jersey against a big, strong SEC defense lineman, or even a Big Ten. He's a Michigan State kid, right, Boogie?
That's right.
Yeah, they're going to get you for that, and I think we are moving on. But yeah, good question. No stupid questions, just stupid people, and they're called Georgia fans. But moving on here, we got what do we got? We got a single back set. You can't see the deuces right here, but I believe we have two wide receivers to each side of the field, and on our right side of the screen at the tackle position, you can see how big and tall Stanton is lined up there against number 42 on the line. And the play we're going to get here is the old Chip Kelly outside zone run. So Stanton's going to be trying to kick this block out here. And, Stanton, I'm going to pick on you a little bit in this film, but you're an amazing player, and you have a lot of football in front of you, and I think you're going to do amazing things at Michigan State. But if you freeze it at 135 again, Boogie, I think you're going to find here that we get a pretty apparent hold again. Let's go ahead and take it to that point of the film. If we can get it right on there, that back where he's got his hand around the 42. And once again, he's going to twerk him down to the field, or wrestle him down to the field, or whatever fancy word you want to come up with. You need to keep your hands inside, right? When you're an offensive lineman, just like you're driving a little Indy car or something, so you can steer them by that front breastplate of the shoulder pad. And when you're outside on that 42, any movement you have where you swing, it's going to look like you're yanking someone down. Now, he does a great job of keeping his feet moving square and forward, so it masks it a little bit. But once again, this number 42 is not Byron Young, right? He is not Wes for the Vols. He's not Elijah Simmons. He's not DeJoun Terry. You got to have that good form. An SEC defensive lineman is going to make you pay for that bad form every single time. But once again, great feet, choppy feet, presses them forward and buries them. Let's go ahead and watch him do it real quick. And yep.
I think what's interesting too, you say you're nitpicking, and maybe we are. Maybe things around here on the Talkin VAWLS network are slanted, and maybe we're going to build Shamurad Umarov up as the monster. I never know what Coach Jay is going to say. I don't know the plays he's picked out. I'm just here hanging out, being educated like you guys. But something I do know is this is his highlight tape. This is his junior season highlight tape. So you picked these plays. These are the plays that you chose to highlight yourself and sell yourself to colleges all across the country. And I think it's okay to nitpick these. I got no problem with that. Let's jump ahead here. 144. All right, wait. No, let me.
Yeah.
No matter how fast, it doesn't matter how fast the computer is. Huddle still won't let me pause it after advancing. So, all right.
Yeah, no, on my end, it's a lot better. I've been able to watch plays on both sides. So once again, two wide receivers to each side of the field. We got deuces on the right side of the offense, the short side of the field. We have Stack, and a lot of you Vol fans, of course, will recognize that from Heupel's offense, trying to get a little confusion in the secondary. And of course, when you jump them out as wide as Heupel does, you're trying to get the DBs to declare either man or zone coverage, and that's why that's generally done. But on this play, we got those deuces, deuce stack, single back set. Go ahead and take me just maybe a second or two into this play, and Stanton's going to be the left tackle on this play. So the outside lineman. Yeah, go ahead, take it back, Boogie, and just show me those exact seconds again. And what you're going to see is him slide his feet beautifully inside. He's going to let the end go by him, and he's going to get those hips turned around. He's going to wall off that linebacker, and just a beautiful seal into the second level. A lot of offensive tackles aren't great at getting into the second level. Stanton Ramil does this very well, and I think it's why Heupel wanted him so much. And when we get into the Sham film, I pointed out in a couple plays, but if you were to watch the whole film, Sham is elite at doing this and getting into the second level with speed and quickness and comfort. So in Heupel's offense, whether you're pulling or combo blocking into the second level, it's a skill you need in his offense. And I think it's why he wanted Stanton so bad. And hey, your hands inside, we can clean that up in spring practice at the college level. But once again, just a beautiful a wall off right there, and using the pulling offensive guard against the linebacker. We talk about linebackers stepping with the pulling guard. Well, they used it against him there. So just a beautiful little offensive line scheme, and something Michigan State's going to enjoy. Definitely a run heavy team will take advantage of that kind of thing.
We move ahead here. 247.
Yep. And this is just a little quick one. We're going to show you left tackle, just a little bull rush. Keeps his feet really well. He throws them a little, lays them a little. Still keep those hands a little more square. Don't stand up so much, Stanton. I pick on the ones I love, Boogie, but just good feet back. Just watch those hands inside. And when you're 6'7", you got to get low, because in high school you can bully anyone when you're that big. And hey, it's why we're the bullies always win shirt today, because these offensive line need to be bullies out there. So awesome stuff.
How hard is it to watch these offensive linemen? I love to hear you break down defense, particularly linebacker, because you get so technical. But when you watch an offensive lineman that is that much bigger than everybody, how hard is it to separate just raw physical strength? Because that's something you read a lot in the scouting reports. I'm pretty heavy to 247 Sports. I like their scouting reports, and they say big physical strength, but needs to get more technical at the next level. But when you've got Glenn Ellerby, who I think is a great offensive line coach, I think Glenn Ellerby has done a great job. I think he did a great job developing Darnell Wright. I think, Darnell Wright, the things that he said about Coach Ellerby and how he got him to the league, I think we've got a good offensive line coach. But when you're watching high school film, how do you separate raw strength versus raw talent?
For me, the separation is your feet. Right? When you have good feet as an offensive lineman, it's going to help you with everything. It's going to help you with even leverage, like you talk about, Boogie, with wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of big offensive linemen who are just big and bullies and can be slow with their feet and not have those choppy feet, and they'll cross their feet. I think Stanton, in all the film I've watched of him, I think he crosses his feet twice. So that's something I look for. And just those quick choppy feet, a good wide base, being comfortable with that wide base is another thing I look at with offensive linemen. And, there's all the other little pieces that go into it too, like your hands and holding and understanding when to block that D lineman and when to let him go, when you're needed at your next combo block downhill and when you're not. Offensive linemen should be, I know there's a lot of stereotypes about dumb, big, fat offensive linemen, but they really should be the smart guys on your team. In reality, they should be the either the quiet A+ student that will kill you, or just that nice, kind of all-American good guy who knows his stuff.
Wasn't it Dion that got the heat for saying that? Basically saying like he wants a quarterback that's smart, intelligent, 4.0. He wants a defensive lineman that lives with a single mom and struggling to make ends meet. And,
Yeah, definitely a defensive end.
hey,
That
stereotypes
fits that
sometimes are
category.
true, bro. Sometimes they're true.
Mhm.
Sometimes you call it a stereotype and sometimes it's accurate. When
Yeah.
Dion says it, maybe we should listen. All right, let's jump back into it. Next play here from Stanton Ramil. We got a couple more, and then we're going to move on to Shamurad Umarov. We got about 82 people watching. It's clear to me the position players, the sexy players, the quarterbacks, and the wide receivers are going to pull more views. But, hey, this is a fun one. This is one I'm enjoying. You guys make sure to leave a comment or put it in the chat. Who do you want next? What comparison do you want next? Running backs, defensive backs, linebackers, something. Loft us a softball so me and Coach Jay don't have to sit down and say, what are we going to do? Where do we go from here? Coach Jay's going to be busy coming up the next few weeks. We're gonna drop those weekly videos when we can. We're going to do these live streams. I would like to do a live stream once a month. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But let's jump into this next one, Coach Jay.
Sure. Yeah. So right here, once again, we got deuces to both sides of the field. Single back set. We got a kind of an offset 3-3-5 defense that we're looking at here. When we let this one play, Boogie, it's going to kind of be one of those catch films again. And if you can catch it right at the 432 mark when we do let it go, we can kind of talk what's going on here. And this, if this play was all over his film, you talk about when to be concerned. I would be concerned if this play were all over this film. It's a pass play, so we are in pass pro. It's a bull rush, so it's as straightforward can be. And go ahead and try to stab it right at that 432 mark, maybe just right as it hits it. Yeah. Okay. So he is leaning almost completely off of the heels of his feet. He's almost totally on all his toes. Look how tall the defensive end is standing. He's just standing straight up. And since Stanton is leaning, all they're really doing is bumping titties here. I mean, they just literally nothing else going on, and a big, strong, low center of gravity. A defensive end is going to make short work when you lean like that. They're just going to pull and rip through, and they're going to put you in the dirt, flat out put you in the dirt. And this is just absolutely straight up, and it's probably just a byproduct of Stanton being big and being able to do whatever he wants, and he recovers well. Hey, he sits back down into it after. I think he kind of realizes, and his coaching takes over, and he gets his hands back inside and gets that wide base back. Yeah, a good shot of that lean right there. His hands are decent there, but that lean just will not do against against proper form.
Coach Jay, you're setting up T-shirts on a daily basis.
No.
Knees to nuts, dicks and butts, and now it's knees to nuts and bumping titties. Knees to nuts and bumping titties.
Yeah,
that's probably going to be the shirt.
Yeah, yeah. A good defensive coach, a la Rodney Gardner, or a linebacker coach should have some good Full Metal Jacket opening drill camp scene lingo in their vocabulary for sure. So I'll take it.
We got a couple of recommendations in the chat. Ricky Gibson versus Jordan Matthews. That might be fun. A couple of good defensive backs.
I was thinking maybe dial down the plays to their 3 or 4 really best, and maybe even throwing a Christian Conyer in there and doing a 3v matchup. So
I kind of like that.
Maybe consider that in the chat.
Yeah. What do you guys think in the chat about that one? Because Ricky Gibson and Jordan Matthews are the two sexy names because they're the 4 stars. But Christian Conyer, one of the top players out of the state of Kentucky. Maybe we do all 3, same position. I like where your head's at, Coach Jay. I like where your head. Maybe that's where we will lean next. My brother is in the chat. Said stuck working, but love what you did with the intro. He put the X's and O's on the chalkboard. It's like a 25-second intro, but I was like, hey, look, if we're going to go live, it's got to be a minute and a half. So I've kind of blended that in. So I'm going to try to get something dialed in with what he did for our regular videos. It's got to be like a 20-25 second intro for the regular videos, and then you got to have like a minute and a half. Like, people are like, but Boogie plays so many intros. Yeah, I do, because look, hey, we're having church here, and you got to let the organist play the music and everybody file into the church service. That's what it's all about. Let's see. Crystal says, do it. Wayne says, heck yeah, ×3. Nugs. Nugs wants to know where you can get that shirt, as if I don't say it every single video.
Bullies always win.
Oh,
or the hat or the shirt.
The hat.
Yeah, I think he said
the hat.
I think he's okay. Got it. The hat.
You got to sell the
you get
merch.
it from Bonfire. You get it.
Bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. It's the only hat we offer. It's only. I was glad when I saw that Coach Jay bought it. I was like, how does it look? Looks good. Looks clean. Love it. Wayne's asking about the shirt.
Oh, the T-shirt. You know, it much like the hat. Wish I could pretend like I was the coolest one, but Mrs. Coach Jay, I don't know, got it from some hipster shop somewhere in Los Angeles. So maybe if Miss J is listening, she can drop in the chat where she picked up the shirt. But it's definitely my O-line, D-line kind of mood shirt. We need the bullies.
No, that's a sweet hat. If only I showed it every single video. Every single video that I put out, Nugs. If only I did it then, maybe you would have caught it. All right, we got one more play here from Stanton Ramil. Let's move ahead here. Somebody commented on the social media post and said if we didn't do the Where's Ramil, then we were failing. I don't have it. I don't have the dually clip queued up. I'm sorry.
There you go. Yeah, you're all good. So right here, here's this empty look that I was talking about earlier. So empty, we've got twins to the bottom side of our screen, so 2 wide receiver, and we've got trips, stacked trips, mind you, to the top side of the screen. And once again, this defense has declared what they are doing by running this stack out there. I mean, they're in man, flat out in man. And that's what it does, right? When you can make reads easy for the quarterback and confusing for the defense, you're going to get Jalen Hyatt running wide open and torching Nick Saban level defensive minds. It's just brilliant, and there are ways to fight against it. You saw it in the Georgia game. You can use different strategies of bracketing and zone to man replacement coverages. So there's certainly ways to combat it, but it's a simple thing for the offense and a complex thing for the defense. And that's what makes it so beautiful. But moving on into this play here with Stanton at the weak side to the bottom side of your screen. This is really, really bang, bang. And the defense is in man, as we spoke about, but they're also in the Boogie Sunday night defense, NCAA football, and the good old 4-3, good old trusty. And they're going to overload and try to blitz Stanton here. And Stanton's going to do a really good job of catching it. He's going to pass off the defensive tackle that's directly over him to his guard, and he's going to keep his feet in front of him and mind those linebackers. And it's one of those plays that doesn't look like a lot on film, guys, but I promise you it's confusing when you're watching it come at you. And Stanton is cool as a cucumber in this situation and handles the triple blitz from the Sam, Mike, and Will linebacker extremely well. Let's go ahead and watch it transpire here, Boogie. Yeah, just and once again, just bang, bang and small, but by picking up that triple blitz, it allows that play, just that extra time. And, sooner or later you're in the end zone celebrating with your doggies.
Doggies we're running doggies in the end zone.
That's right.
Runs right over your ass.
Not without the program.
That's what I've heard.
Lingity. That's for sure. But And there we have it, Stanton Ramil, ladies and gentlemen.
Adrian Wells becomes a member of the channel at the emoji access. We appreciate that. That's only $1 a month. That's $1 a month. We are like 30 some subscribers away from 20,000. Can we find a way to hit that? I don't know how we can possibly hit that before Friday when Austin Price comes on the show. I'd love to be able to brag a little bit and say we have 20,000 subscribers around here. So tell somebody, like, call up a friend, anybody you know that is a Tennessee fan, let them know. Put it on Twitter, put it on Facebook, spread the word. We would appreciate it. Thank you, Adrian, for your support. Nugs for 5 says tip in the old jar. I appreciate these film sessions. Thank you, Nugs. Appreciate that. The tip jar is still wide open. You want to pay an entry fee. You want to drop a $5, a $10. You want to drop a $250. You want to become the top. What do you got to do to be the top donor? Let me go up here and scroll. I don't even know what it is. Top donor for the month, Micah Bush, $250. You want to lead for the month, $251. I don't think anybody in the chat's got that in them tonight, but we appreciate the support, whether it's 5, 10, 2, or 32 cents. We appreciate it. So we've gone through the film of Stanton Ramil. We went through the scouting report. Coach Jay, you watched a whole lot more film than just what we showed. So what are your overall thoughts of Stanton Ramil before we wrap up and move on to Sham?
Big, physical, strong, a bully inside. Once again, needs to work on that hand placement and needs to work on just staying in his base, not leaning at any time. But going back earlier to a similar theme that we were talking about earlier, it's about optimization, and he does get down into that second level. Well, we didn't see him pull, but I think he fits really well into that Michigan State bully style of football. And I do think Sham fits a little bit better into our style of football. And we'll expand on, who I would take maybe later, but very interesting. I think, like all offensive linemen playing major college football, they're not just going to walk in and Trey Smith every 1 year, number one. They're going to take a little bit of time to develop and get that technique down. And he's definitely got a lot of upside to him. That's for sure. Just needs to clean it up a little.
And that's what we're looking for from a guy like Addison Nichols. Like, I think this is a big year for him in spring camp to see him kind of, is he going to be the backup center, backup guard? Like, can he take a step? Like, I don't expect a whole lot from a freshman. Like, some guys, Arian Carter, the Dylan Sampsons that are getting all that buzz and hype. Nico, like, if Nico comes in mop-up duty, I expect something from him. Certain guys, others, not so much. I just expect them to come in, put on weight, and get ready for their sophomore year. And that's why in a lot of the spring videos, I focus really more on those class of 22 guys than I did the class of 23 guys, because I want to see those sophomores kind of take that next step. John Watts for 10. Appreciate that. Super chat says, great job as usual. You see, John is like, I'm sick and tired of seeing Wayne's stupid name on the leaderboard for this stream. So I'll go in and update it real quick, put John Watts in there for $10. Appreciate that. Thank you for the tip. Thank you for the super chat. We appreciate all that. Somebody at the top of the show said Coach Jay needs a gaming PC. Maybe we can fund that. Maybe if you guys dropped enough super chats, maybe we could send that money to Coach Jay and say, hey, let's get that gaming PC rocking for Coach Jay, because he's doing the Lord's work around here. We appreciate what Coach Jay gives to the channel. Let's jump in. Let's talk about Shamurad Umarov. Let me share the screen here real quick. Man, oh man. Shamurad Umarov. You can see here 6'6", 337 pounds. What's interesting to me, because he's an offensive tackle. Like, he's an offensive tackle prospect. He's an offensive tackle freshman coming into Tennessee, 6'6", 337 out of Georgia. 247 Sports Composite had him as an interior offensive lineman. Coach Jay, did you see anything from his film? Where do you see him more of as an inside guy or an outside guy? What do you think about that?
I think he could play either, certainly. And I think a little bit of it will depend on where he's needed more. But I think he definitely is more prototypical at the defensive tackle I mean, sorry, what am I talking about? Offensive tackle position. He's just really, really fast. And like I said, that's really important in the SEC. Hey, you get these defensive ends and linebackers and heck, even cornerbacks coming on blitz in this league are fast and super fast and get around that edge quick. And Sham's just got really good fast feet. He can certainly defend against those fast pass rushes around the outside and the linebacker stunts, but he can also work inside. He can also pull as an offensive tackle. He can also get out there on mid screens and wide receiver bubble passes and all those little gadgets that coach likes to do with the offensive lineman. He can play in space. Coach likes to get this offensive lineman playing in space. It's a big theme for Josh Heupel to get players in space, and that certainly is true for our offensive line. And it's about expansion and contraction for Heupel, and you got to be able to do both, right? It's why he likes to have a tight end in the game at all times, because he wants to be able to go wide, go quick, and before you can sub anyone in, because you can't sub anyone in, they've gone in tight and contracted, and now they're running right in between your eyes, and you don't got the personnel to deal with it, and it's creating mismatches to be able to do that. And Sham fits that optimization to a T for Josh Heupel's offense. So a great pickup. I know Georgia offered him. I know Georgia really wanted him. I know Sham had interested in Georgia, but the Nico effect, I think, had a little bit to do with it, as well as him just falling in love with the staff and the university as a whole. So definitely stole one off the front porch for the Dogs.
You brought up a great point talking about the tight ends, because so many people talk about, well, why don't they go 4 wide, right? We talk about it's 3 wide receivers. Dante Thornton's going to be one of them. Wink, wink.
Mm-hmm.
And Brew McCoy and Squirrel White. Why don't they just go 4 wide receivers? Because what you just said, Coach Jay, they want those tight ends in the game. They rely on them so heavily for run blocking, and they want them in the game for that reason. And we don't see a whole lot of 4 wide sets because of that. Let's scroll down. Let's look at the scouting report for Sham. I'm not gonna go through the size and all that stuff. Displays good athleticism at the left tackle position, good knee bend, hip flexibility in his pass and run set, shows the ability to fire off the ball, flashes good foot and body quickness, appears to have a good foot speed and lateral quickness. You talk a lot about foot speed and footwork. Demonstrates the ability to anchor at the point of attack. Will need to continue to add muscle and that he needs to add muscle. What 6'6", 337. Holy sweet Moses. How much more muscle do you need? But it goes on to say, shows the ability to move defenders off the point of attack in the run game, plays with very good understanding of leverage and body control, good athlete that can play in space. Athlete, and maybe I beat that word down, and maybe they use the word too much, but it seems to be a trend for the type of kids that Josh Heupel recruits. Good athletes, well-spoken, good character. That's what we are recruiting. Goes on to say he can play in space at the second level and redirect, flashes some nastiness. That's what I want to see in my trenches, with his ability to finish blocks. Prototypical left tackle that possesses high developmental upside when projecting to the next level. Will need 1 to 2 years to develop in a collegiate strength and conditioning program, but has a chance to develop into a high-level multi-year starter at a Power 5 program. Could potentially exceed projection with his high athletic ceiling. I love that scouting report. I love the tape. My thing when we talk about, Sham versus Stanton Ramil, like, for me, I really wanted to land 2 of these dudes. And if I could have any two of the 4 between Sham, Ramil, Francis Mauigoa, and Lucas Simmons, I wanted Sham and I wanted Francis. Those were the 2. Francis was a big miss. Money talks. $5 million. I didn't say it. Didn't hear here. Allegedly, a little birdie's tweeting in my ear said $5 million. That's what I've heard. $5 million. Money talks. But
certainly,
when Francis was going to Miami, And you could talk about $5 million, allegedly. Let's take that $5 million and let's split it between two of the other three, whether that's Lucas Simmons, Sham, or Stanton Ramil. And I feel like that's where we kind of dropped the ball. I wish we could have got 2 of the 4, but nevertheless, this is where we're at. The transfer portal is a thing. We'll see how it plays out. Let's jump into some film from Shamurad Umarov. What do you see, Coach Jay?
Right off the bat, is the left tackle to that wide side of the screen, our left side of the screen. We've got a bunch formation. I think I picked on this a couple weeks ago. There has been some sloppy high school film I've been watching lately with their bunch and wing formation, or their stack when they're in bunch formation. It's ugly, and I don't like it. So I'm picking on this offensive coordinator a little, so I'll keep it moving, but I don't like that formation at all. This is an inside zone running play. We saw that twice in our previous Stanton Ramil film. We can go ahead and let it run for just a second here. Just a second or two, Boogie. Sham, he just gets out so dang quick. Like, look at the D line. Look where everyone is on this D line. And look how quick Sham gets to this kid. I mean, his feet are just choppy, fast, and he covers ground and gets out in space immediately against someone who's attacking him in a quick rush. And he meets him with his hands inside, even when he gets him leaning. Now, Sham's got his hands inside. He's not pulling anyone down like we saw in Stanton. His hands are inside, and he's turning him just with size, power, and a wide base. And is he standing up too tall? Yeah, everyone can get lower at the high school level. Once again, I've never seen someone play at perfect pad level from the tackle position. But, man, those hands are inside. He got out there extremely quickly. And what that does, when you get out there that dang quick, look at the subsequent hole that is opened up as a result of it. And yeah, you got to deal with linebackers and all that, and the guards are a little out of position to do so. You get a Cam Seldon or something like that through a big hole like that, they're going to be paying the price for it pretty quickly. And we can go ahead and watch that to the summation of the play. But just good hands, good feet, finishes it off and gets the pancake. Let's take a look.
I love the first step where he's at compared to everybody else. Like, boom, like look at the space, man. The space. David Speaks for 5. Thank you for super chat. Sham will be Nico's left tackle in 2024 and 2025. Go Big Orange. Thank you, David, for the super chat. We appreciate that 100%, man. I think Sham's a baller. Look at that quick first step. Watch him finish the play here.
Yep, just inside zone. So he kicks out. That's his job, to kick out. Beautifully done. Beautifully done in the inside zone blocking scheme of kicking out the 4-eye hole. Moving on here, we're going to get a direct snap play against a nickel defense. It's kind of hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure they're in the red zone right here. The defensive end that is directly over him. Now, this is going to be a direct snap. So kind of what you call a power O in the zone blocking scheme, where instead of the tackle kicking out the D end, technically it's the running back's job to kick out the most outside man, and Sham usually is gonna combo block off of him, and the guard is gonna try to combo block that tackle as well, with the running back either sealing the linebacker or the D end, whoever gets in that hole. And I mean, that doesn't happen on this play, but it's kind of the concept of it so that you guys understand. And it's hard to see what's outside of that running back too, which might be why the running back isn't kicking out the end of the linebacker here. Kind of hard to tell with the view we're given. But if we let it run just a little bit here, Boogie, maybe just 2 seconds, something like that, 2-3 seconds, just quick boom. hands inside, getting held on his shoulder pad. He's so quick out of those darn breaks. I mean, his guard is trying to combo block and help him, but he's so quick, he's already beaten him to his spot. And what you'll notice here, that D end is trying to hold his ground with that back foot in the ground. And as a result, that linebacker is going to get caught behind him. And it doesn't matter that the backside guard is late or that his side guard is late. Sham's taken care of both of their jobs for them and done a beautiful job of it. We can keep, just completely puts them in the dirt, guys. Just beautiful. Takes out 2 defenders with it. Play doesn't go off because of other circumstances, but Sham certainly put in his work on that play, and a beautiful job by Sham. We'll move kind of quickly through this play, but I wanted to show it to you guys anyways. Just a little quick flare out wide receiver, quick little, not quite a bubble screen or a swing or something like that. Just that quick little turn and pop the quarterback does. Joe Milton's going to be great at that this year, throwing that quick out in space. But right here with Sham on the left side, and once again, we got our twins to the bottom side of the screen. We have a wing formation. So the tight end is off the ball in the wing over the right tackle, or shaded outside of the right tackle. And Sham's got that weak side bull rush, or it could be an inside stunt or an outside, but certainly you want to keep that quick, fast rush off you. And just a really good example of feet. And when you have a quick pass to the opposite side of you as an offensive lineman, it's really easy to give up on that play, right? Because all you need to do is buy your quarterback, a second. So it's really, really easy to get lazy. But when you get lazy, someone with speed comes along and blows it up anyway, or gets their hands on a ball. And I think when Boogie runs this play, we'll see that there's no backside lazy, because the play is not going to come out. Sham takes everything seriously. He's got a very workman attitude. And let's see how he handles this play when it's quickly away from him. Just continues and puts him in the dirt. I could watch Sham sit here and pancake linebackers and linemen all day. Just beautiful feet from Sham. And I just want to show you that, because if you're anything like me, guys, you just love the effort, and those effort plays are those plays that come back and pay dividends later in games and later in the season.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here and put you on blast.
Yeah, do it.
Were you being a prick when you picked these? Because every block for Sham, his hands are inside, and that's something you keep beating into the ground. Hands inside. His hands right there, pancake block, hands inside, leverage, still gets the pancake. Stanton Ramil had a lot. We saw it. We saw it, but things aren't always as they appear. You can manipulate, you can do whatever you want, you can pick certain plays, but again, these are highlight films that these kids put out. But is this a narrative, Coach Jay, that you're putting out, or is this just kind of the common theme of what you see when you watch these two kids?
Yeah, it's the common theme when you watch Stanton's film and Sham's film. And, when there's a common theme throughout the whole film, I think it's important to bring that theme out.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's another theme in that film of him really being a mauler and bullying people into the ground as well. But even on the plays where he's doing that, his hands are bad, and it's not a hard fix. So it's not like it's something where I'm like, oh, hey man, don't take this kid. He's got terrible hands. If it was the play where Stanton was reaching and off of his feet, and that was the common theme, it'd be a lot different conversation. I'd be like, hey, look, this guy belongs playing JUCO ball. Why did he get a D1 scholarship? His feet are terrible. he's a complete project. He's going to be a problem. But that's not the case with him. It's just hands. But when feet are a problem and I see that, I'm going to start sounding alarm bells. And granted, this was pre Coach Jay on Talkin VAWLS, but man, I can certainly pull some VolQuest chat rooms where I'm sounding alarms on Drew Richmond's feet when he was coming to Tennessee. So very fixable from Stanton. And Sham is just extremely sound technically. And I'll get into some of the differences, but there are certain things Ramil has an advantage in, and certain things Sham has an advantage in, and so we'll address those at the end. But a good question, Boogie, and a fair question, I think.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna put you on blast. I love to hear it. I just want to know where you're at when you clip these things together. If it's a common theme or if you're forming a narrative, it's fine. It's all good, man. I love it. Let's move on to the next play. What do we got here? 2-12.
2-12. Yep. We got our twins, wing formation, twins to the bottom side of the field. Sham's left tackle, like always, of course. So on this play, once again, guys, it's a common theme, if you want to use that word. Sham is just extremely quick out of his stance. And this is his play, like Stanton had, where he's comboing and getting down to that second level. And when you watch it play, Sham is so fast that he actually seals the defensive end so quickly that he seals him into that linebacker. And once again, going back to that read step, I know we talked about it earlier, but when you can see that someone is down blocking and you're the backside linebacker, you better fill in a hurry, because if you don't fill in a hurry, you're going to get your tail handed to you. Let's go ahead and watch Sham down block that tackle. And he doesn't even need to really get in that second level. And he almost picks up a third defender. If we can catch this, he knocks that kid so far back, he kind of does the splits and falls on his face. The first blocker back into the linebacker. Sham gets off and takes, I think it was the weak side DN that looped around there, or maybe the backside backer, but just down second level, third defender. And if the back had cut inside into that hole, we'd be talking 6 points. Just a beautiful job of getting that second level and quick feet getting into the second level. There's not film of Sham pulling as a tackle either, but certainly he has the capability to do it. And I think Heupel is licking his lips at the versatility of Sham, and just a great job by him in that moment. It's just going to be where we at 2:58 in the film.
Yes.
Okay, so on this play, it's a pass play, so we're in pass pro. We're going to get a twist from the defensive lineman. So if you guys don't know what a twist is, what's going to happen is the D end is going to stunt hard to either B gap or A gap, so either between the guard and tackle, or even maybe a harder loop to the A gap between the guard and the center. And then the nose tackle, who is shading between guard and center, is going to loop around to the outside. And what can happen in this situation is the offensive tackle can get sucked inside. And that's what this play is designed to do, is to suck them inside and get your D nose tackle looped around and through that clean gap. You need patience as an offensive lineman, which is why you don't want to lean. And I think when we play this for a second, you're going to see Sham beautifully pass along that stunting inside defensive end, and then he's going to recover his feet nice and square really well. And if Boogie can freeze it right at 3:01, we'll see how well he's recovered and squared those feet up. Let's see if we can do that. Even just a tick before where you had it, it just beautifully squared and even where you stopped at Boogie was just walled off, wide base. Yeah, his outside left arm could be a little more inside on that shoulder pad. His pad level could be a little lower, but once again, just patience. I mean, there's nothing doing here, and uh, if the right tackle, number 72, go back to the beginning of it real quick, Boogie. If the right tackle had the kind of discipline and wherewithal that Sham had here, he wouldn't have got sucked in by that end and left open this blindside hit, right? And all of a sudden you've got a Tennessee versus LSU situation where Hendon Hooker's getting murdered by someone. Now, granted, that was Dylan Sampson blowing that play, but nevertheless, we don't want free people running like this. And usually, these twist plays are accompanied by a cross pop or a cornerback blitz on the opposite side. And a cross pop is the same concept as a twist, except of a D lineman, there's a linebacker involved with the lineman with the cross pop rather than the D lineman.
So you got a couple of plays here on the old agenda that you said were all kind of similar, kind of the same type of play. So what I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best, and it might not be good. It might not be good, but I'm gonna do my absolute best to run these plays back to back to back. So all right, here we go. So we're not going to provide commentary. I'm going to play these three plays back to back to back.
And that's just 331, 351, and 420, right?
Correct. So let's play these back to back to back, and then we'll let Coach Jay kind of break down what happens here. So 331, 351, and 420. Perfect. So here's 331.
Mm-hmm.
And what was it, 41?
51.
351.
And once again, guys, and you can play it, just what we're seeing here is just quick, choppy, wide-based feet, and especially on this last one with this bull rush against a very legit D lineman, very strong. Sham stands him straight up, and he doesn't do it with his hands. He does it with an extension of an inside elbow, and he does it with his feet. His feet are absolutely elite for an offensive tackle. And if I could pick one attribute for an offensive tackle or any offensive lineman to have, it's good feet.
So we broke down the film for Stanton Ramil. We broke down the film for Shamurad Umarov. For me personally, as I was going to say casual fan. I think I'm more than a casual fan. I think I'm a lunatic. But for what I see on tape, the guys I wanted were Francis and Sham. And then when Francis went to Miami, I wanted Sham and Ramil. And if we could get Lucas Simmons, then that was fine. But when you break down, when you compare Stanton Ramil versus Shamurad Umarov, break it down, Coach Jay. Give us the final breakdown here. And just a spoiler alert. Coming up next, live Coach J film breakdown. Ricky Gibson versus Jordan Matthews versus Christian Conyer, the first ever 3-man competition. That's what we're going to do for the next live stream. Again, like I said, Coach J is going to be busy coming up. We're going to try to do videos if we can, but if not, we'll try to get back together here in a month or so and do another live stream. And that's what it's going to be. 3-man scramble. For Ricky Gibson, Jordan Matthews, and Christian Conyer. But let's wrap up this thing. Shamurad Umarov versus Stanton Ramil. Break it down, Coach Jay.
Yeah, so initial thoughts are back to that themes, that optimization of what you're looking for, right? Both guys get into the second level well. Both guys can combo block well, which you need with elite running games, which both Michigan State and Tennessee have. Elite running games, you need that, right? Stanton is so strong. That kid, you could just tell he's freakishly strong. I haven't seen his weightlifting numbers, but I reckon they are high and really impressive. And Sham, I haven't seen his weightlifting numbers, but I'm guessing just by all the commentary that's around it, is there a little bit lackluster? But just through sheer size and footwork and build, just the way he's built with his legs and his low center of gravity. Man, whenever you can get a big D lineman, O lineman who's big but still has somehow a low center of gravity, Jesse Mahalona comes to mind, Warren Sapp comes to mind. Heck, even Trey Smith to a degree, just kind of something about him has that low, wide base center gravitas. And Sham certainly has that. And with his hands and feet, he's elite. His quick step is elite. They both are athletic. They both need to learn how to get lower. And I think they both fit into the systems they ended up in better than the other one fits into the system. So I think they did their work very well when they chose a school. So it's all about optimization. And I mean, hey guys, I'm a Tennessee fan. I love to pick Tennessee guys. And, to me, it's about what you're using them for. So for Tennessee, I think we won it because we got him. If we got Stanton, it'd be a little more of a project for what we want to use him for, but he's got advantages over Sham. We'll see how Sham develops in the weight room, but I'll always take technique over strength because, especially at high school, going to college, because, Sham's not been in a real weight room yet, guys. And there is a huge, huge difference between a high school weight room and a college weight room. There just is, just from everything from time to the way you go about your work, to your meal planning, to what you're eating, to how you're living.
Look
little
at Caleb Herring. Caleb Herring's put
Look-
on like 20 some pounds
Mhm.
in
Yep.
just a few months. Just a few months.
Absolutely. But that footwork is if you put a gun to my head, is why I probably would take Sham. But this was a really close one, despite me picking on Stanton a little bit over his hands. And I just think Sham is real quick off that block and looks good in the pulls. Will look good in the pulls, looks good. Combo blocking downfield, is extremely smart and intelligent. And that's what I want, is a smart, intelligent player. And he might not be as much of a bully, but he still bullies just fine. And I think with the job that our O-line coaches have been doing, certainly with Darnell Wright and everyone as a whole, right? It's night and day from Pruitt or a Butch Jones offensive line, even just awesome coaching, awesome scheme. And I'm looking forward to see what Sham can do.
Well, you guys put it in the comment section. Who you taking? Who won the film breakdown? Stanton Ramil or Shamurad Umarov? We got a fun one coming up your way. We'll let you guys know we're going to do it, but I'm excited, man. You guys keep lofting the softballs, and then Coach Jay will knock them out of the park. Ricky Gibson versus Jordan Matthews versus Christian Conyer coming up probably within the next month. Also, a ton of content coming your way over the next few weeks. Don't forget, though, orange and white game, Neyland Stadium, April the 15th, 2:30 p.m. kickoff. We're going to be tailgating at 11 a.m., the G10 parking garage. Come see us. Come hang out. Myself, Vols JP, Dauber, X Factor will be there. Going to be a fun hangout, so make sure you come hang out with us. It'll be good times. Friday night, this Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, Austin Price, one-on-one. We're going to talk Tennessee football. Going to be a good time next week, sometime in the morning. I don't know. We got to wait to see what the practice schedule looks like. Eric Kane's going to be coming on doing a morning show. Tons of content coming your way. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed, smash the thumbs up, share the videos, let somebody know it's like 30 some subscribers away from 20,000. Like I was talking to, I don't even remember who was I talking to about it. Oh, Big Vol Daddy, after the morning show this week. I was like, dude, I want 20,000 so bad. He's like, dude, when you hit 20, you're going to want 21. Like, it never ends. I'm like, you're not wrong, but that's the grind. That's what keeps me hustling and pushing forward. If you want Coach Jay to get a gaming PC, drop a $1,500 super chat. We would greatly appreciate it. We'll get him dialed in. But that's going to do it, man. We're going to wrap this thing up. Coach Jay, it's always a blast. I love these live streams. I love the content that you were helping me put out. So for Coach Jay, my name is Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. Go Big Orange.
The songs howl like beat, poets at an arcade, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken past this updated orb that we call home.